In the time after King Arthur, Constantinople. The scene. The Muslims and Turks are laying on the longest siege that the holy city of Constantinople has ever known. Great siege engines have been constructed and rolled hundreds of miles over roads carved ahead of them to reach the wall of the fabled city. Hordes of crazed madmen encircle the city on every side. Constantine IV supervises the action at the latest trouble spot on the wall and watches yet another mighty siege tower go to blazes from the effect of his newly discovered Greek fire. There on another wall comes a human wave assault with ladders. Archers on the ingenious triple-tiered walls let loose arrow after arrow into the mob. The slaughter is endless, for when one Turk falls, another takes his place to meet death and glory. To die in war was the ambition of every Turk, or so the great Khan would have them believe. Finally, the blessed darkness falls as the attackers retreat to their camps for the night, and the city's defenders sneak outside the walls to make repairs. The attacks begin anew the next morning at some other gate or portion of the wall, but Constantinople was built to last. Well stocked with food, water, warriors, and weapons, the Christians' finest city has easily survived the first 100 days of siege. Indeed, as Constantine IV turns from the wall and looks inward, his city and its churches look quite eternal in the bright summer sunlight, especially Holy Sancta Sophia, the most magnificent church in all of Christendom, its gold, glittering dome a symbol to all of that which is forever good and eternal. Constantinople, unconquerable for centuries, heart and soul of the Eastern Roman Empire, New Rome, sister city of Camelot, built on 7 hills and ever protected by the mountains, the sea, and 3 solid walls. When founded and laid out by Constantine I, declared Caesar in wild and old Roman Britain, his followers were aghast when he walked out the boundaries of the city he was to have them build, for the walls were to be several miles on each side. But no site was so fortified by nature. The hills gave it height and view, the harbor of the Golden Horn and the Sea of Marmora gave it access and control of the sea and protection from attack, and cold winters helped also, as did the strong winds on the Bosphorus. Many a caliph had attacked it, over long periods of time, and each went home in despair, never to return to power. Blockaded for 200 days now, the city yet stands solid. Where outer walls weaken, new inner walls are built overnight. There's no longer any grain left from the steppes of Russia, but the city is large, and every spare patch of dirt is put to the task of growing food, which is to be carefully rationed. 2 portions a day to warriors, 1 to all others. And then elsewhere, the Huns cross the Danube, the Vandals enter Rome, casting an eye on North Africa, and somewhere in the uncharted waters of the foggy Aegean Sea near the Mystical Isles, a nation of born sailors goes to war, while another great navy enters at the other end of the great inland sea and passes the Rock of Gibraltar. A crippled sailor looks out from the first ship. It is the man with a peg leg and a hook hand, the one who built the ships that he thought he would never sail, Sir Gunnar, now commander of Britain's war fleet. Victory at sea. Our story. Deserted for decades now, Rome falls easily to the Vandals, but the words "Rome has fallen" still hang heavy in the air as the messenger speaks them before the king's court. In the great inland sea, a spy notes the passage of the Vandals to North Africa, and eventually takes the news to Gunnar and his fleet. This is a lucky break, since the Vandals could be easily isolated in Africa, and all of the commanders knew that isolation and separation of enemy forces was a most essential part of the war strategy. If the Mediterranean Sea could be soon taken, then much enemy shipping and communication could be brought to a standstill. The Vandals are followed by a small ship, painted blue to match sea and sky.